Two observations that I had. One was the number of total jobs that we estimate in the state of North Carolina. Our estimate this year in 2011 is that there's 14,800 full-time equivalent renewable energy and energy efficiency jobs in North Carolina, and this was up 18% from our estimate last year. So in a long-term downturn in the economy with unemployment over 10% in North Carolina, we're still seeing growth in employment in this sector, and so that was somewhat surprising to see that robust level of growth. A second factor that was surprising, and we've seen this in past years as well, is how much the North Carolina marketplace is important. We ask companies, where is the primary place that they sell their products or goods? And again, like past years, overwhelmingly the companies say it's North Carolina. So the policies and business climate and the consumer purchases happening in North Carolina are driving these companies' growth, are driving the employment. And where we see the greatest influence of outside markets is in the manufacturing sector. Those are firms that are typically selling into the U.S. market or international markets, but the overwhelming growth in the industry is happening right here in North Carolina.
And I would agree with everything Paul said, especially on that last point about where product is being shipped. I think this year one of the surprising things for me to see as we look through the data was in the wind sector, for example, over 60% of the product was product and services were destined for national and international markets. So while it is a North Carolina clean energy sector, the marketplace really is that North Carolina serves as a national and international market. And we saw companies saying that they were providing services to China, Canada, South America, Caribbean nations. It's amazing to see how much it's grown since 2008 when we first started looking at this. Another thing I saw that it's not so much a surprise, but it's always heartening to see each year, is just the high participation we get from the industry. We don't compensate them for this. A lot of them are not NCSEA members, and the participation rate is usually around 50% of the companies that we send the survey out to. So I think it speaks volumes to how much the North Carolina clean energy sector really wants to have their success stories heard, and how much they're looking to engage with North Carolina consumers and tell what they have to offer. And that's always great to see each year when that happens.
Absolutely.
I think it's from our perspective as well. We're manufacturing quite heavily in North Carolina as a whole, and we're actually building plants, new plants in the state. And I think it's maybe a test to what we've done in the past as far as the RTP and things that are in this area, that we're investing now heavily in Raleigh for R&D efforts and everything in the NC State campus. So I think there's a greater awareness of electricity usage and consumption, and how we can be better sort of consumers of electricity. So.
Which is one of the things that I could add too. You asked, how have things changed over the years. The tenor of the conversation has changed tremendously. Consumers are much more educated now about their options that they have. They're much more sensitive to wanting to find ways to save on their energy bills. And to add to your comments about how the industry is expanding outside of North Carolina. I mean, for our company, for example, early on we did business primarily in the Triangle area, and then we opened an office in Charlotte and Wilmington and South Carolina. This year, for the first time, we will actually do more business outside of the state than we do inside of the state. And it was made possible by the start that we got here in this state. And now I've been a big fan of saying I want to see North Carolina be an exporter of energy, and it's just a tiny little thing that we're doing, but I'm proud that we're actually deploying these technologies and these solutions outside of our state and bringing that revenue home.